Hello students, my name is Sumish Sharma. I am working in St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management, Gurugram, as an assistant professor in Computer Science department. Welcome to the web series of .NET. Here we are starting related to the .NET classes. So my subject is .NET. So first of all, what is .NET? So .NET is a free cross-platform open source developer platform for building many different types of applications. With .NET, you can see multiple languages, editors and libraries to build for web, mobile, desktop, gaming and IoT. IoT stands for Internet of Things. So first of all, what is a framework? Why we use framework? Because we already know .NET is a software framework. So before it, we discuss about what is a framework. A framework or software framework is a platform for developing software applications. It provides a foundation on which software developers can build programs for a specific platform. For example, a framework may include predefined classes and functions that can be used to process input, manage hardware devices, and interact with system software. This streamlines the development process since programmers don't need to reinvent the wheel each time they develop a new application. So, a framework is similar to an application programming interface that's called a API. Though technically, a framework includes an API, and API stands for Application Programming Interface. As the name suggests, a framework serves as a foundation for programming, while an API provides access to the elements supported by the framework. A framework may also include code libraries, a compiler, and other programs used in the software development process. So now, what is a .NET framework? So .NET framework is a software framework developed by Microsoft. .NET developed by Microsoft that runs primarily on Microsoft Windows. It includes a large class library named as Framework Class Library, and short form is FCL. FCL stands for Framework Class Library, and it provides language interoperability across several programming languages. In further slides, we discuss about interoperability features of .NET. So these are the topics which we'll cover in this unit, like overview of .NET, .NET framework, building block of .NET platform, features of .NET, benefits of .NET technology, namespaces, architecture of .NET platform, MSIL stands for Microsoft Intermediate Language, data types, and evolution of web development. So our first topic is introduction to .NET. So in an introduction of .NET, we would like to know about .NET. What is a .NET? So Microsoft .NET is a software framework. We already know because .NET is developed by Microsoft. So Microsoft .NET is a software framework, and we already discussed about what is .NET, what is a framework, or what is a .NET framework. So .NET is one of the powerful technologies released by Microsoft aiming at fulfilling the idea of software as a service. So Microsoft .NET is a new platform designed to provide all the tools and technology to build web applications. Okay, got it? It enables one to develop applications for different environment and devices. It integrates various technologies on a single platform. .NET is a software framework, not a language. It is a software framework. It is a collection of various technologies on a single platform. That's why it mentioned it integrates. Integrates means collection. It integrates various technologies on a single platform. It enables users to develop internet applications. And .NET is a new vision, philosophy, and endeavor towards future of internet computing. Because coming future means future of internet is very wide. So .NET is a new vision or philosophy towards future of internet computing. It allows to create traditional window based application, servers components, etc. that can run on any device such as PC or a mobile device. We already discussed that .NET framework is a collection of tools, technologies and languages. So it is a platform in which web applications are created. The .NET is a platform dependent and language independent framework. Why? What is the meaning of platform dependent and language independent framework? Language independent framework because it can support multiple languages such as VB.NET, C#, JScript, VBScript and many more. The .NET framework have some objectives. So here we are discussing about objectives of .NET framework. First one is it provides a code execution environment that minimizes software exploitation. Means it provides an environment that can successfully execute the code created by an unknown user. Got it? Okay. Next one is it provides an environment that can be used to execute both window-based and web-based application. Window-based and web-based application means .NET is a software framework, we already know. It creates both type of applications, window-based applications and web-based application also. So .NET provides an environment that can be used to execute both window-based and web-based application. And it also provides facilities to enable all applications to communicate with each other. That's why it is a platform dependent. Okay. To provide object oriented environment to develop application. So next point is to provide a code execution environment that provides safety of code execution. It simplifies deployment and versioning. It eliminates the issues faced by scripted environment with respect to performance, and also provide a common programming model where the choice of programming language becomes a matter of choice. It is very important topic in .NET. Here we can discuss about building blocks of .NET. So there are 3 building blocks of .NET as mentioned in slide. First one is CLR, Common Language Runtime. Second one is CTS, Common Type System, and third one is CLS, Common Language Specification. So firstly we can discuss about Common Language Runtime, CLR. The .NET framework provides a runtime environment called the Common Language Runtime or CLR. First of all, it is the soul and heart of .NET framework. Okay, because CLR provides the runtime environment. It manages all the execution of code. Okay. And what is the meaning of runtime here? CLR. Runtime means that code is running, which is another way of saying it is being executed. Okay. And what is the meaning of common language? Here, common language means that this runtime manages the execution of code written in several languages, because we already know it is a collection of various languages. So common language means that this runtime manages the execution of code written in several languages that share the services provided. Okay. The CLR means common language runtime provides services such as memory management, thread management, security management, code verification, compilation, and other system services. Because all .NET programs execute under the control of the CLR. Here, a diagram is mentioned in which VB.NET, C#.NET, other .NET languages will input in a common intermediate language code CIL, and then it will towards native machine code. So we can discuss about it. It constitutes the core component of the Microsoft .NET framework platform. Once a specified .NET compiler convert the source .NET code, in diagram also mentioned, if we written the code in VB.NET, if we written the code in C#.NET, in other languages of other part of a .NET, so compiler convert the source .NET code into CIL, means common intermediate language. Then the CLR compile the CIL into native machine code as shown in diagram. First, source code. Source code means in which we will write the program. If we are writing program in .NET, C#.NET or VB.NET, first of all source code will convert into CIL, and then CIL further converted into native machine code. So this illustration basically the flow of a .NET program compilation and execution. Once the .NET assembly is compiled into native code, it is stored on an assembly cache for a specific period of time and then executed. It not directly executed. First, it stored in a cache, assembly cache, for a specific period of time. This way, no further recompilation is necessary and speed up significantly consequent executions. This process is what is called JIT. JIT. JIT stands for just in time compilation. Among many advantages of a JIT, just in time compilation platform, for me, the most important is to be hardware and platform agnostic for coders. This means that a specific .NET software will always run in the most efficient way regardless the hardware or the operating system version it running on. The second one is common type system, means CTS. It describes a set of types that can be used in different .NET languages in common. Means it is an important part of the runtime support for cross-language integration. And the types are independent of the language in which the source code is written. Okay? The .NET achieves the language exchange ability by sharing a common data type system with all the languages. And this shared data type is known as common type system, CTS. In other words, CTS defines the rules by which all types are declared, defined and managed regardless of source language. So CTS is designed to be rich and flexible enough to support a wide variety of source languages, and it also facility provided as a cross language integration, type safety and high performance code execution. CTS perform some following functions. First one is establishes a framework that helps enable cross language integration, type safety and high performance code execution. We already discussed in last slide. Then provides an object oriented model that supports the complete implementation of many programming language. We already discussed about CTS before a slide, that CTS defines rules that language must follow, which helps ensure that objects written in different languages can interact with each other. We already know that .NET framework is a software framework in which many applications, many languages are available. So CTS defining the rules and languages must follow. Object written in different languages, and how can we interact after converting in a common type system. So CTS also provides a library that contains the primitive data type. Okay. The third one is Common Language Specification, CLS. What is the goal of CLS? So first of all, a goal of .NET is to support language integration in such a way that programs can be written in any language. So CLS is a subset of CTS. So CLS is a subset of CTS, and therefore the languages supporting the CLS can be used each other class libraries. Use at public interface level, avoids common denominator approach, it depends on it. So CTS specifically broad to enable a wide range of languages. Means CTS too large for most languages to implement. And the last line in this topic is CLS specifies a series of basic rules that are required for language integration. We know that every vendor has to follow these rules, because in upper slide we already discussed that CTS is specifically brought to enable a wide range of languages. So every vendor has to follow these rules and design their language to connect to .NET framework. These are the key features of .NET, like a easy and flexible use, integration and surfing, low investment, multitasking, improved security and speed, and many other, like a common execution environment, provide tool support, multi-languages support, and cross-language integration, garbage collection, many others, and so on. Now I am going to explain the format of questions based on today's topic, so that you will get an idea that which type of questions come in university exam for this topic. So here are the questions, and the first one is, what is .NET? Because our subject is .NET. So first question is generated, what is .NET? Then next one is, explain .NET framework. Third one is, it is very most important question regarding we have you have chance that we have chance this question will come in your university exam. Explain building block of .NET. It's very most important question. The next one is, what are the key features of .NET? So these are the books name which you can prefer for your practice and self-study. According to me, The Complete Guide to C# Programming by VP Jain is the best book in .NET. Or you can also follow any other relevant book also, if you want. So this is the end of the today's session. Thank you for watching my video. Have a nice day. Hope you will watch my next video, in which I will discuss about namespaces and also most important question, architecture of .NET platform. So thank you so much. Have a nice day.